Legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
The governor's plans to build a new hospital in Eagles Field moves forward. Nestor Lecanto has the story. Despite the high number of positive COVID cases, the head of the Physicians Advisory Group says we still haven't reached our peak. Daniel Perez has the details. And Tyler Matinani reports on two separate procurement appeals with one thing in common: a buddy, the latest decision from the OPA. These stories right here, right now, on Primetime. Hafa, I'm Tomas Manglonia. Glad you could join us. Eagles Field in Manilao is back on the table as the site for a new hospital complex. Governor Leon Guerrero said she has the assurance of the director of the Missile Defense Agency, Vice Admiral John Hill, that the parcel will no longer be considered as one of the sites for a planned missile defense system as previously announced.
He has assured me that the commitment of the Secretary of the Navy for land in the Eagles Field area still is being honored, and we will move forward then with the lease negotiations, which I understand started this week.
Gita is leading the talks for GovGuam, which is seeking a 99-year deal. Last month, Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson advised that the MDA was also considering Eagles Field as part of a multi-location 360-degree defense system. But the governor says the MDA is now eyeing an adjacent parcel.
They're looking at if they are going to place anything, it would probably be a radar communication station, but they're going to make first an assessment of how that's going to impact the airport and how that's impact the medical complex.
But that closes the door on the original landowners, who saw a possible opportunity to get their property back. But the governor says that was never the case.
This property is still in the federal assets inventory, and it was never listed in the net negative list as an excess property. So I just want to make it very clear, and they did say that if we did not build a medical complex there, it would return back to the federal government.
The governor plans to meet with original landowners to determine what can be done for them. The options include payments from the Land Claims Fund. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The governor returned this week from Washington, D.C., where she attended the National Governors Conference, testified at a Senate oversight hearing on the territories, and met with various federal and military officials. And it's two different companies, two separate procurements, but one common connection. Tyler Matinani has the latest decision by the public auditor.
The letters were almost identical and signed by a buddy at the Guam Contractors Licensing Board, specifically the executive director, Cecile Buddy Orsini. In a new decision issued by Public Auditor B.J. Cruz, he dismissed G4S Security Systems procurement appeal involving the Guam Department of Education's decision to award a contract to competing bidder, Technologies for Tomorrow, or TFT. Like JMI Edison, which protested the Guam International Airport Authority's decision to award a contract to Menzies Aviation, G4S argued TFT didn't have the required valid contractor's license. Also like JMI, G4S filed a complaint with the CLB and emailed a draft findings and decisions, which, like he did in the JMI case, Orsini signed off on. The document stated that the CLB would fine TFT in violation of Guam law for not having the required license. Additionally, during a hearing, a CLB investigator said that it's the board that makes the decision for cases. When asked by the public auditor to describe how the executive director reached the decision set forth in the findings and decisions, the CLB investigator was unable to provide a clear answer. Similar to JMI's appeal, the public auditor dismissed the G4S appeal with prejudice. And also like the JMI case, it raises questions about an alleged buddy system at the CLB.
It's very hard to to believe anything. As I said in my decision, it just makes it difficult to accept anything from the CLB.
At the request of Adelup, Orsini submitted his resignation from the CLB. DPW Deputy Director Linda Ibanez was tapped to serve interim executive director. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
And what could spark another boom in private sector construction? The U.S. Labor Department issued new policy guidance today on the use of H-2 foreign workers on civilian projects. Nestor Lacanto reports.
What's good for the military project should be good for civilian ones. That's basically what the new policy allows for. Labor Director David De La Sola explains that similar to what the Admiral can do in verifying the need for skilled foreign labor, the governor can now do through GDOL.
Greg brought up the fact that, hey, the Admiral gives you a letter for those associated or supported by or, directly connected to the military. Why don't you allow us, DOL, to give a letter in support of the contractors who are claiming adversely affected by?
Greg is GDOL Alien Labor Processing and Certification Administrator Greg Massey.
In the 2021 NDAA, there's that new criteria which was adversely affected. Basically, trying to address some of the shortages that we have in home building and commercial projects that don't relate to the military.
It's that adversely affected language that's the key. For example, losing workers to military projects.
A lot of the workers that were available to work on civilian projects have all moved over to the military projects. Everybody's worked in the military project. That's the most lucrative, and there's no workers available here, and it's shrunk.
It used to be that 90% of foreign worker visa applications would be routinely approved, but that changed in 2016 when USCIS came up with a different interpretation of the criteria. And even after the Contractors Association successfully won a federal court decision to return to the old way, approvals, except for military work, have been few and far between. Contractors must now be convinced that this new guidance will change all that.
Once we get some approvals, which all indicate they will, then I can feel more confident. But everything points to this looks like a viable solution now.
GDOL officials roughly estimate that another 1,000 foreign workers could be brought in to accommodate civilian projects. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
And crime is the center of talks at a meeting being held this hour in Jigo. Joining us live is Hannah Devonzo. Hannah?
Tomas, we are here at the Jigo Gym where a meeting is being held for village residents. I'm here with the mayor, Tony Sanchez. So, Tony, what is the purpose of tonight's meeting?
Well, the purpose for tonight's meeting is to have the village residents come out and voice their concerns, what is happening in their area, to the GPD personnel that would be here tonight. So, everything that's going on now with all the crime and everything, so it's very good for the residents to come out and, let the GPD know what is going on in their area.
Okay, and I'm sure with the ongoing death investigation, a lot of the residents are concerned about what's happening in their village. Have you heard any talk of that from residents?
No, I haven't really. We're just still waiting to find out what actually happened to the individual that was found deceased. So we'll just have to wait and see. And
tonight a press release was released by GPD confirming that the cause of death for the lifeless body found in Jigo was from foul play. So also, if village residents are concerned, can they join a village group chat?
Yes, we do. And in that area, there is a village MC neighborhood group chat within that area. Yes, there is one there.
And if they wanted to join it, would they go through the mayor's office?
Well, we would have to go through the process with GPD on how to form the neighborhood watch chat group to make sure we follow the proper procedures and all that.
Okay,
yes.
So it's still ongoing, being created?
Yes, it's still ongoing. Yes, it's still being created. That's why we are having the second meeting here tonight to try and get things started again.
Okay, awesome. When is the next one going to be?
Well, we'll find out after tonight's meeting what the consensus is, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so GPD, like he said, is in attendance tonight, prepared to answer the community's questions. Reporting live from the Jigo Gym, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
All right, thanks, Hannah. Coming up next, the latest with impeachment proceedings for CNMI Governor Ralph Torres, and Isaiah Uggan reporting on raises for teachers and support staff at GDOB. These stories and more when we return.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Don't need to work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
I'm a small business owner and I run a couple of boats. And when COVID first hit, we were kind of, at first we thought it was just like any other pandemic, like the SARS, and we weren't prepared for it until unemployment is shutting down the whole industry. My whole business relies solely on tourism. When that shut down, we're kind of worried because we don't have enough savings for uncertainty of how long it's gonna last. We're so thankful that the government, the federal government, started giving out the grants, loans, and like PPP and all that. That really saved us, and it's really helping us a lot survive, you know. And right now we're still struggling, but at least it's easier. And without those grants and loans that from the federal government, I mean, we wouldn't be here.
Thank you for the unemployment assistance from the federal funds.
Thank you.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the Office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Let us know what's up on our KUAM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town on Guam or the CNMI and what you want us to know. Reach us on WhatsApp at 671-727-0094. Welcome back. They weren't given the money to conduct the study, but according to GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez, he and his team will take on the challenge. But when all is said and done, he's hoped they're not left with empty pockets. Here's the latest with pay raises for educators.
The Guam Department of Education thought an educator study for teacher pay was someone else's job.
We were under the impression that the pay study was going to be ongoing with DOA.
Despite zero appropriations for the study, GDOE isn't waiting and plans to act.
A lot of people talking about it, but we need to get the work done, put that proposal on the table, and we need to take the lead on it, and then we'll do that.
As KUAM News reported, Guam Education Board members Chair Mark Mendiola and Maria Gutierrez defended the long overdue increments for teachers and support staff. The pay study now being conducted by GDOE must be completed by September, with hopes raises will be implemented in 2023.
So, we will be working with the governor and DOA and our legislature to clarify what we believe is fair, for our teachers and our support staff. And we hope that, that we can do this and it won't be an empty promise.
In a previous interview, Mendiola said the proposed increments could range anywhere between 5 to 22% and could cost up to $15 million to implement. The study will include several factors like the cost of living.
At this point, I and my team are just going to have to take the lead on it and put that proposal to the board and hope that our elected officials support that proposal when all is said and done.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusiaziagan.
And daily triple-digit positives continue and will likely remain that way in the coming weeks. Our Daniel Perez has the latest with our battle against the coronavirus. He speaks with Dr. Nathaniel Berg, the head of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group.
Clearly, the numbers coming out of the JIC don't look good, and they don't exactly tell the whole story. According to Dr. Berg, we're still not out of the woods.
We are only testing those who are symptomatic. So, truth be told, we're probably underestimating the number of cases that would be positive if everybody was allowed to test as it was before. So no, I think we've got to be at least a couple weeks out from reaching peak, at least a few weeks out. And I expect those numbers to go up.
What he's cautiously optimistic about is the hospital's ability to provide treatment during the Omicron surge. He says hospitalizations are still lower now than during our bout with the Delta variant. He is, however, concerned about the number of dead-on arrivals. In a recent public health and CDC study on DOAs, a majority of cases were among Guam's low-income communities, those with comorbidities, the elderly, and individuals without health insurance.
If you go to the hospital, you're going to be admitted. No one's going to ask you for your credit card. There are absolutely mechanisms addressing anybody who has fear of payment. It should not be a burden. Everybody should be able to get treated. There are mechanisms of enrolling people in insurance, but even if you don't, we need to take care of those people without regard to their ability to pay. That is 100% should not be a burden.
Dr. Berg urges residents who test positive and feel sick to not wait until it's too late. He adds, thanks to the treatments such as the antiviral pills Paxlovid and Molnupiravir, high-risk patients can be treated right away. He says the sotrovimab treatment seems to be working well, and no adverse reactions were reported to those who received it. Public Health reported on Tuesday all 120 doses of sotrovimab on island have been used, but 190 doses are on order. When they will arrive, however, remains to be seen. Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
And in the CNMI, Senate President Jude Hofschneider says lawmakers in the House should keep their hands off the process leading up to the impeachment trial of Governor Ralph Torres in the Senate. Earlier this week, Representative Selena Babauta sent over 5,000 pages of documents as evidence for the trial, informed the Senate that 6 impeachment managers from the House were on standby and that what she sent should be concealed from other senators until the trial begins. In a letter to the House Speaker earlier this week, Senator Hofschneider said that the partial records and requests are premature as the Senate is currently drafting complete rules for the trial in the coming weeks. Governor Torres could be removed from office if 6 members of the Republican-led Senate vote to convict him. And CNMI Attorney General Edward Manabusan wants the police chief Robert Guerrero to return nearly $50,000 of unlawful typhoon premium pay dating back to 2018. Here's more. NMI Attorney General Edward Manabusan says Public Safety Commissioner Robert Guerrero was not entitled to receive typhoon emergency premium pay, overtime, or extra pay for his work in the 2018 Super Typhoon U2 recovery. In a lawsuit in Superior Court, the AG says Guerrero received $46,892.96 in addition to his $54,000 salary. In November 2018, Governor Ralph Torres declared a major disaster and authorized continued special compensation at the rate of 2.5 times the base of hourly rate for those working in recovery response. The AG says Civil Service Commission's rules for the extra pay do not apply to the governor's appointees, and the Director of Personnel who initially greenlit the pay lacks power to do that. Manabusan wrote in part that the governor's emergency powers do not authorize the governor to suspend the application of statutes. Last May, Representative Selena Babauta wrote to both the AG and public auditor expressing concern over typhoon emergency compensation after learning that at least $8 million in personnel costs was not reimbursable by FEMA. The AG's action coming nearly 3 years after the first payments were made, as Manabusan faces mounting pressure for dragging his feet when addressing matters related to the administration. All right, sports is next. Plus later, it's been closed for almost a year, but Skydive Guam takes the leap and reopens.
Beautiful. It is, right, baby?
Dad, isn't that where we usually stop for gas?
It's where we used to stop, but not anymore.
But isn't that the place with the milkshakes?
Okay, all right, let's go.
Good job, kids.
Take your adventure further in the first ever Santa Fe Hybrid.
This is a bag. But for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Sharks visiting the Cougars in Agana for their ISA IIAAG girls basketball game. 16-7 Academy lead. Oriana Sevilla with the corner three. Ranafe Olette drives and dishes it off to Hannah Meinik with the no-look pass. Meinik going window for the finish. 22-10 Cougars lead. Sevilla with the pass to a wide-open Mia Titano, who makes the defense pay for not getting out. Olette finished the game with 13 points, helping herself to 2 right here off the backboard. The home team closed out the first quarter up 24-10. Sanchez started the second quarter on a 6-0 run. It didn't take long for the Cougars defense to lock in. Steal by Corey Paulino, who takes it to the rim for the finish. Academy went into halftime ahead 46-21. Meinik bringing the ball down court, passes it off to Jordan Zacharias for the bank shot. Coach Jimmy went deep into his bench, rotating his players early and often. Celine Siswico, 10 points in the fourth quarter. She finished the game with 12. Cougars went on to win 76-43. Mia Titano and Oriana Sevilla both hit for 15 points. Sevilla with 5 3-point shots in the game. Anika Almario chipped in with 8. Tori Rapadas had 7. The Cougars hit the court again on Saturday to face the JFK Islanders at home at 3 in the afternoon. Keeping with basketball news, UOG continues to strengthen their men's program by getting their team more time on the court. The Tritons picked up wins over Activate and Team Foe in the 11 basketball tournament played at the BMS gym. After barely having enough players to field a team in a previous tournament, UOG had a full squad of 14 players suit up this past weekend. The Tritons advanced to the winners bracket final on Sunday to play Team Micro Friends at 3 in the afternoon at the BMS gym.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Building on the past, we at Docomo Pacific Business believe in helping businesses move forward and together, changing the way we get things done to make you and your company reach your highest potential. Trust in our commitment to bring you the best solutions for all your business goals. We are Docomo Pacific Business. Let's work better together.
I didn't get screened because I was just afraid of it.
I procrastinated. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have insurance.
I didn't want to know.
There were several services that was available to me.
I got a mammogram.
Colonoscopy.
I know in my heart that early detection saved my life.
And I just tell people all the time, please go get screened.
Half a day. As we look ahead to a brighter tomorrow, Matson's commitment to Guam and Micronesia remains stronger than ever. While the world around us is ever-changing, what remains unchanged is our commitment to you, our customers, and the island communities we serve. Shipping is what we do best, and serving our community is at the heart of everything we do. But we don't do it alone. This is why we support organizations that make caring for the people and the environment a top priority. We know that many count on Matson's lifeline services in the Pacific. And that's why we continue to work hard to ensure that our shipments remain on time all the time. Matson recently added another Aloha-class vessel to our schedule. We now have 2 of Matson's largest and fastest ships serving Guam from the U.S. West Coast and Hawaii. With our new state-of-the-art vessels, we stand ready to support the region's economic recovery. Thank you for the privilege of serving you for the last 25 years. And you can count on Matson to be here for the next 25 years and beyond.
February is Career and Technical Education Month, according to Career Tech High Academy Charter School Principal Dr. Juan Flores. Schools like his provide alternatives to students.
The main reason that the Association for Career Technical Education
has this set up is to remind everybody of the need for us to pay attention to the fact that some of our students will go to college, some of their students are going to prepare for jobs right after college, and some of them are going to prepare for training after high school, but not necessarily in colleges. And it's really for us to focus on, and even especially for students who are going to college, what are you going to do with a college education?
Several activities are planned throughout the month. For more details, visit their website, careertechguam.org. And just in time for Valentine's Day, the Guam Community College's culinary program has got a sweet deal going on. On Friday, they're hosting a bake sale offering an assortment of baked goods ranging from cheesecakes and crinkle cookies. Culinary students Alexandra J. De Chavez and Jericho De Dios says you don't want to miss out.
We'll be making macarons, stacked quads, red velvet cupcakes, as well as cookies. So be ready for that.
We are going to try to stock for at least 300 guests or so. So that, you know, anybody who comes in during that big sale, they can try and get what they want for their loved one.
You can purchase the baked goods from this Friday from 9 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. at GCC's Multipurpose Auditorium building. 400, only cash payments will be accepted. After closing its doors almost a year ago because of the pandemic, Skydive Guam has finally reopened thanks to the governor's LEEAP program to help local business. The company officially reopened over the weekend. Skydive Guam is a Guam Safe and WTTC safe travel company. They currently have a special running through mid-March. Make sure to catch our upcoming episode of Uno Mixed at the end of the month as our Tyler Matanani got a chance to take the plunge. And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Everybody, Guamanians far and wide, join me, won't you, in saying happy birthday to Valerie Manning. Hey, wow, Manning is a great name to have with the Super Bowl just next week. And Valerie is especially awesome. You've got Peyton Manning, you've got Eli Manning, you've got Archie Manning, legends, all of them. We'll take Valerie. Valerie, all of us on Guam are so pleased and proud to be your neighbors and have you as part of our island family. And your shout out says, happy birthday to our sister Valerie Manning. We love you very much and we're wishing you many blessings on your special day coming from all your family. So we hope Valerie and her family and her friends and her neighbors and everybody celebrates Valerie today because she is awesome. So happy birthday from all of us at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery. And
remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online. That's KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo, your name, and your birth date. That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of In Full Zoom. I'm Nestor Lecanto, and this week we're going to talk a little bit about a new program at GCC. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's a program. It's called Show and Sell, and joining us here is Jean Cepeda, who's going to introduce the rest of the group here. Go ahead, Jean.
All right, happy day and good morning, Guam. How are you? So we have Austin Hawkog, and he is in my social media class, and Connie Villegas. She's also in my social media class. And the two ladies at the bottom that are running the event, that are coordinating the event with the rest of their class is Pauline Manabusan. She's also the vice president of our marketing class called Boss. And then we have Brianna Iglesias. Yes. So we are really, really excited to bring this to the campus and to the rest of the island. Our show and sell is going to be quite different. Actually, not quite different, but just something that the community has not seen on campus yet. So we're really excited.
All right. And let me just go through each of the students here and ask them to just explain a little bit about their involvement and what their products are for the upcoming show and sell. And let's start with you, Austin.
Hi guys, my name is Austin Hukuk. I am a participator for this semester's buy and sell for GCC. My product is actually a service, which is tarot reading, and it is mostly available through Instagram at my ad at AJ Readings.
Tarot reading. Oh, that's interesting. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So my tarot reading services is to provide advice to people who feel like they're lost in what's happening nowadays in their lives. With this pandemic going on, I feel like this business could really provide not only profit to me, but help and assurances to others who feel insecure about how their life is going out. And my services are not limited to just looking into the future. It could also help you advise on things that are happening now, or to help move on about things that still tie you to your past.
All right, so sorry, I had to move out of camera there for a second. Little technical difficulties. So how did you get into tarot reading in the first place? How'd you get interested in that?
So I was actually interested from watching a documentary during my middle school years, but I didn't really actively do it until my high school years. At first, I thought it was just a fun party game, but then afterwards, when I got comments saying on how accurate it was, and then I got some people telling me to continuously do it, I started thinking like, hey, this is something that could actually help more than just me. So I decided to continuously do it until I finally got an opportunity to profit off of it and market it as a for sure business during my marketing class with my teacher, Ms. Cepeda.
All right. So who wants to go next? Pauline or
Connie?
Brianna?
Okay. Connie?
Yes. Well, half a day Guam. My name is Connie Villegas, and I currently own CRV Garden. I'm currently a student at GCC, taking supervision and management. And I'm selling plants, live orchids, garden supplies online through my Instagram, Facebook, and I have it on my website too. So currently I'm doing meetups and curbside pickup by appointments only.
All right. And so I imagine that you have a green thumb.